Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasthajanakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. In the previous session, we saw the avatar Mahima of Lord Krishna, where he said, whenever there is a decline of righteousness and increase of unrighteousness, I shall appear keeping my own prakriti or nature under control, only to destroy the evil, protect the good, and re-establish what is right. In fact, this is the nature of all the saints as well. It is one thing to expect the Lord to appear amidst us to take care of situations. It is yet another to rise up to the level of God and do what He would do. This is the nature of all the great seers and saints who appeared to protect the humanity, whether it is Jesus Christ or Lord Buddha or many other saints, as well as the present day Swami Vivekananda or Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Ramana Maharshi, Pujya Gurudev, and various other great masters who have come to re-educate the people, to bring a new awareness, a new meaning to our living. That we find that they have risen themselves to a higher level. And that is the reason why Sri Krishna said in the verse before that those who know why I have come, those who have understood my life and work as divine, they also become free of all the sins of life, and they also have gained the same purpose in their life. And that is the reason why Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yo Veti Tattvataha Tyaktva Deham Punarjanma Naidi Mameti Sarjuna. Those who know the my birth and my actions are divine, even those people, when they leave their body, they don't come back. In other words, all of us, based upon our desires which are unfulfilled, have to come back and relive our experiences every birth. And we continue to live according to our whims and our fancies and gather more desires during this lifetime. And then when we finished our work here, we go back with another baggage, only to open that baggage again in the next birth, continue to experience this world and gather more. It is like when you are going from one place to another by flight. Once you reach the other destination, you wait for your baggage to come and pick it up and then go. In the same way, we carry our prarabdha from life to life. And Sri Krishna says the end of this journey is only when they recognize that Lord is divine and His actions are divine. So should be mine. So should I be protecting the good and destroying the evil. And in our own way, we can continue to do that. It is not that we have to take a sword or a gun and go and destroy all the people who are wrong. As Swami Chinmayananda did, educate the people who can understand this and thereby bring about a transformation in their life. So, Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yo Veti Tattvataha, one who knows that, Tyaktva Deham, having given up his life in this body, Na Eti, he does not come back to Punarjanma, to rebirth. Instead, they will reach me. So, the next question that would be there in the mind of would be, who will be eligible to become one with him? How am I to become eligible? Meaning, if the theory wise it is great, I understand it's a great theory, but how practical it is, how it is possible for me to rise up to that level. So here very clearly Sri Krishna starts by saying, those who gave up attachment, fear and anger, those people are capable of reaching me. But how? It is easy to say, give up attachment, fear, anger. These are all the three important ones which are holding us captive in this world. Raga, Bhaya and Krodha. Raga is attachment, Bhaya is fear, and Krodha is anger. See, any person you interact with, anybody, whether it is your brother or sister or your parents, neighbor, friends, associates, boss, employee, somebody on the road, anybody whom you have never met, go to an airport, meet people, or the agent who is distributing you the ticket or a boarding pass, or a person on the road who is driving next to you, or a cop who is doing his work. Anybody you take in this world, they are troubled by only these three: desire, fear, and anger. This, I'm telling you, such a wonderful analysis Bhagavan Krishna brings it here. That what is the cause of anger? Cause of anger is very clearly seen as insecurity. I'm not sure. My anger is because I'm losing something. My anger is because I'm not heard. Anger is because I didn't get what I want. Anger is because things are not going the way I want. Anger is because somebody is insulting me, criticizing me, ridiculing me. Anger is because I'm not certain about what's going to happen to me. Anger is because I'm not able to achieve what I want. In all these situations, you will find there is a lurking insecurity which is referred here as fear. So the cause of anger is fear. Cause of anger is fear about the unknown. Okay. What is the cause of fear? If the anger is caused by fear, what is causing fear? The fear is caused by I holding value for something, and that which is, whether it is available to me or not, whether I will get it or not, that uncertainty is there. So that means I have a value for something, I have an attachment to something, I have a desire for something about which I am uncertain, and because of the uncertainty I am angry. So the cause of fear is idea of happiness, idea of fulfillment with something, attachment to some person or an object or an experience, attachment or value to something which I want to hold very dear to me. So until a person recognizes that attachment is the cause of fear, which is the cause of anger, one will not be eligible to become free. And therefore, reaching God or reaching God realization or knowing God or being free, to be simple, is not a impossible task. Yet, it is impossible for a person who cannot give up his attachment. So that is the reason why Bhagavan Krishna here says, it should be burned in the fire of knowledge. How? By growing up, staying tuned with me. Burning in the fire of knowledge, to start with at least the intellectual understanding of what causes this attachment, what is the cause of fear and anger. Raga, Bhaya and Krodha. The knowledge is the only antidote by which one can overcome the attachment and the results thereof. If I know that it is my own fanciful thinking about an object that is giving me a feeling of attachment to that object, if I can overcome that, then you're free. In the knowledge alone, in the fire of knowledge alone, one can burn all that. So that is why in this particular chapter, the main emphasis is on jnanam. Jnana karma sannyasa or jnana vihita karma sannyasa yoga. This is the action that is to be given up through right understanding. So continuing, he says, Arjuna asks, if it is so easy to reach you, that by burning my attachment through knowledge, then why not so many people do so? Why is that not many people walk into the same path? So therefore he says, men are attached to work because actions produce very quick results. I respond to all according to the way I am approached. So Krishna says, in this world, people are attached to action because action gives the results quickly. Let us say that if I have to achieve something, I have to find a person or find a group of people who can act upon it. So, and when we go to work, on a daily basis, we go to work not because we love the work. We go to work because the work gives the result in the form of the money. At the end of the week, end of the month, I get some amount compensating to my work, and with that money, I can buy whatever I like to buy. I like to enjoy going to movies or eating food and wearing nice dresses, and that's all possible because of money, and money is that which can be gained only when you work. So work becomes the means to joy. Work becomes the means to desire fulfillment. Work becomes the means to pleasure. Therefore, men are attached to work. So when people are attached to work, they do not have even time to think. So he says, I I I I, I doubt anybody will even think of why there is attachment, why there is fear, why there is anger. Many times we climb up the ladder and realize that ladder is leaning on the wrong wall. Where I want the joy and happiness, what I am settling down for is pleasure and immediate sense gratification. So therefore, Krishna says, Yo ye yatamam prapatyante tans tadeva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah. In this world, people approach me in different ways, and if they are going to work and then gaining money and the little pleasures they get, okay, let them do so. That is the one way of approaching me, meaning I being the one who is giving the joy for everyone. If somebody wants only a limited pleasure, I can give them by making them work extra mile, go to an extra mile, work more passionately, and this is what the world of action is all about. Work, 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 and then you get what you want. So that is what majority of the people do. Very few people sit and think, am I going in the right direction? Just because everybody is boarding a train and going in one direction does not mean you also have to go in the same. Everybody is following a particular path to reach somewhere. You don't need to. And those who have decided to change their ways are those discoverers. Those who are well known in this world, in the history, are those people who took a different way of doing things, not following the beaten path. So Krishna says, people do not uh, take a new way of looking at, a fresh way of looking at things because not many people think. The thinkers are very, very few. Now, continuing in that, Krishna says in the next set of uh, verses, based upon the way people think, I divided human beings into four based on their quality of thoughts and ability to work, not based on birth or social conditions. This is where an important topic is brought in the chapter 4, that is about caste system. Unfortunately, it is more misunderstood than understood. In this topic, we need to little dwell deeper because the four different uh, divisions that Bhagavan Krishna speaks about in this chapter is the same division of labor we follow even today. In any corporate, any organization you take, these four different um, divisions are there. You cannot avoid that. So, what are those? Thinkers, protectors, providers, workers. If you take any manufacturing company or service industry or anything, you will find a set of people who began this whole organization. They were thinkers. They had a vision. They had a purpose. They had a goal. They had an idea. Oh, why not we do this way? Let us say ABC company, some company, a company you start. First of all, you ask, what am I going to do? I am starting some ABC. It's a trading company, let us say, that you are buying some products from Hong Kong or some Asian country, and then you are bringing it in United States, packaging it locally, and putting a brand name, and then marketing it, and then put advertisements, make people know about your product, and then send it, contact the local retailers and supply to them, give them some extra privileges so that, or extra discount, so that they will be eager to sell your product, and then you also advertise. All these things requires thinking. And in any society, these people who actually are bringing a new product, a new system of thinking, or a new idea, they are very few. Like, for example, iPad. Who wanted it? Who wanted it? Everybody was happy with their personal computer, PC, laptop, and they had a phone. But nobody thought phone can become a computer. Nobody thought about it. And so a thinking person, he said, why not? Why do we need to sit down on a table to look at my emails, look at what movies that I want to see, or videos I want to see, or to communicate to people through text, etc., or write a document, or send messages? Why do I need to get stuck to a computer and laptop? Why not in the phone that I'm carrying? Why not we do in that only, or a little bigger than that? So you see, even iPad will become obsolete, because now your own iPhones and other devices you carry in your pocket is capable of doing it, unless you want to see in a bigger screen. So TV become obsolete for watching movies. People are seeing in iPad or laptops, or now TVs are becoming computers. See, the thinking changes, the paradigm shift takes place. And such is the nature of thinkers. Thinkers are not those who are stuck to some ideas. They explore. And these thinkers are referred as Brahmanas. Brahmana means those who are thinking little higher, greater than what others do. They are researchers. They were deep thinkers. In every society, Gurudev used to call it Boston Brahmins. Because Boston is full of all these engineers and the thinkers and research people, the Boston Brahmins. Now, this is one section of people. The second section of people are those who are not thinkers, but they are also very crucial to any society, and that they are people who protect the interest and the security of the society. People need to be protected. People should not live in danger. People should not be easily vulnerable to the external aggression. So therefore, protectors, warriors. They are more interested in physically building up themselves, like any army that we have for a country, the army, navy, and air force, and these are all necessary for a society to live peacefully, not being bothered or disturbed by external aggressions. Then comes the third category of people, providers, meaning those who are financiers, those who are bankers, investors, businessmen, those who bring in wealth to the society. For the economy is maintained by the providers. So they are also necessary even in a company. And let us say you are starting, you are having a party at home. First of all, you should think about whom to invite, why the party, what for is the party, where are we going to host. So all the planning is necessary. And for that, then you have to invest in, okay, we need extra chairs or tables, we need supplies, we need the food. You have to plan for that and get it from the marketplace. And then on the day of the party, you have to have enough people to do the work. So the fourth category is workers. Even in any society, if the roads are clean and then the gardens are maintained and then the sewage system is working well, and all these things are done by whom? The workers. Or even you take in your own physical body, you can see the same situation here. Uh, See, the Brahmins are, as it is given here, they are in the uh, head portion. The face of a society is Brahmanas, and second one is the Kshatriyas, protectors. Your hands, shoulders, these are all the representative of the protectors. Your thighs, which are giving the strength for the body to sustain, stand, walk, talk, walk and move about. That is called Vaishyas. They are the providers, and those who are making it happen, movement, getting things done. They are all, the movement of any organization is because of the workers. So when we say the caste system, what we mean is the people divided based upon what they are capable of, based upon their thoughts or the ability to work, and not based upon birth or social conditions. But in any society, over a period of time, when this is not understood properly, the children born to Brahmanas, they are considered as Brahmanas. Children born for Kshatriyas, they are considered as Kshatriyas. Children who are born to Vaishyas, they are called Vaishyas. And children who are born to Shudras, they are considered Shudras. Though it is not necessary. A person who is born to a Brahmin family may have Kshatriya quality also. Or a person who is born in a Kshatriya family can also have Shudra qualities. A person born in Vaishya family can have a Brahminic quality also. Like our Gurudev was born as a Kshatriya, but his thinking is so lofty, so high. He was basically actually a Brahmana only because of study of Vedas and Upanishads, Gita, etc. He was not a person who took a bow and arrow and went for an army or navy or anything. He went to the teacher and learned. He became a Brahmana by thinking. Even Swami Vivekananda is said to be a born Kshatriya, but he became a person of great knowledge. So it is not necessary that one should be born to a particular caste to become of that quality in thinking. But when we do not think correctly, Krishna very clearly says, I divided the people according to their guna and karma. Chadurvarnyam, four castes, maya srishtam, created by me, guna karma vibhagashaha, according to their guna, quality of thinking, karma, the way they work. Interesting thing is, he says, even though I created this, though I created them distinctly, I do not involve in what they do. They act according to their own predispositions. Meaning, he says, Krishna says, even though I created all this, but according to their thoughts and according to their abilities they do, I will not involve in, I will not push them to do what they need to do. Like, for example, if a dog is behaving according to its own nature as a dog, and a cat is behaving in the way a cat should behave, a bird behaves in the way the bird should behave, a human behaves according to human tendencies, it is because of the quality of thoughts that are there in that particular person or the soul. A soul living in the body of a dog invariably has that kind of a thought that makes it behave like a dog. A soul that lives in the human body It's gained the human body because it had that kind of a thoughts, and therefore you will behave like a human. You cannot expect it to be different. So therefore, Krishna says, I don't interfere with that. If a Brahmana behaves like a Brahmana, it's good. If Kshatriya behaves like a Kshatriya, it is right. So it should not be other way around, because that is against what your thoughts are. So what it means is that if I have a quality of my thoughts are about something great goal, my thinking will be lofty and higher, and I cannot compare myself with somebody else who has some other kind of an activity he does, because that is how he thinks. And that is how I think. So there is no comparison between who is right and who is not right here. Who is greater, who is not great. There is nothing called higher and lower. So, meaning all the four, thinkers and protectors and providers and workers, all the four are equally contributing to the health of the society. As much as in my physical body, there are so many different parts are there, and they are all functioning according to their own capabilities. The heart and the lungs and the spleen and the breathing system and digestive system and brain, because that is how they are designed to do. One is not superior and it's not inferior. All are necessary. So one should correctly recognize that in a caste system, all people who are there are necessary for the society to function well, and therefore there is no higher and lower, really speaking. So if one knows that one's own self is not the one who acts, but the soul with the desires, he is not bound by actions even while being busy in action. So one should clearly recognize the distinction between the soul which has these qualities, and there is the self called the life, which is witnessing, sustaining, supporting the soul to do what he does. For example, there is electricity which is there passing through the bulb, and the light that happens in the bulb is because of the electricity, all right, but electricity is not the light. Light is because of electricity. In the same way, life in us is sustaining the thoughts in our mind. It's not creating the thoughts, it is only sustaining the thoughts. So based upon the thoughts, so will be my action. So the self is not cause of the action. Self is that which supports the thought, and thoughts lead to actions. So one must distinguish very clearly that the soul is a complex entity which has the desires and thoughts, whereas self is a witnessing presence which does not involve itself in action. So one who is able to clearly identify one's own soul as a witness sustainer and not the actor, such a person is said to be the one who has evolved to the state of right knowledge, wisdom. So this he explains in the verse, as we see, the secret of detached action. What do we mean by that? So as we saw in the previous slide, a person who is able to distinguish very clearly the self, which is called Atman, in totality it's called Brahman, and that which is merely a presence which sustains the soul, which has a desires and actions. So if he can shift his attention from the soul to the self, he will be detached. If he is not, then he is attached. So here, ancient master worked so efficiently with the detached mind. So too you should perform. This is what Krishna tells Arjuna clearly. If you can slowly detach yourself from identifying with the soul and to shift to the self, this is what is called acting in the world but not getting caught in the action. This is how the masters of the past have done their work in this world. So I will tell you what is action and what is inaction. Actually, it is difficult to understand. Externally, you will not see it. So therefore, he says, I will teach you how to act and yet become free. So earlier we have seen that without action we cannot remain. because we are so, every day, morning till evening, we are busy with so many things that we do for different purposes. But then, while thus acting in this world, how to shift your attention from the acting soul to the witnessing self? Now, he gives an example here. Uh, you know, when you see, when you watch a moon in the midst of moving clouds, it would appear as though the moon is moving. Huh? So is the notion of action in us. While the self in us does not act, amidst the active mind, senses, etc., the self appears to be active. So if you look at outside on a nice beautiful day where there are a lot of clouds and in the midst of it there is a moon, and you will see when the clouds are moving, it appears as though the moon is fast moving. You will witness that's a wonderful phenomenon. You will find that moon is actually traveling somewhere. But even if you keep your gaze upon the moon all the time, even though it is moving, but you will find it is not moved. In the same way, when the mind is active, thinking, etc., breathing is going on, eyes are seeing, nose is smelling, hands are moving, legs, feet is walking, you are speaking, you are hearing, you are tasting, you are smelling, touching. All those activities in the senses and the body, all these are happening there. But there is one in you which is just witnessing the whole thing, not at all participating. So if you can shift your attention in the midst of action from the active body and senses, etc., to the witnessing self, that is called detached while acting. You don't stop doing things, but you are aware that you are not doing anything. You, the self, is not doing anything. Now, one may ask, Swami, what is the purpose of that? The purpose of that is that even as you engage in actions so involved, so engaging, so vigorously, a part of you is relaxing. How nice it is. A part of you is relaxing, another part of you is acting. And when we do not have the relaxing part of it, what happens is we get so involved in the action and then we have to stop action to relax. And we cannot actually, because when we stop our action to relax, we are thinking about still, after relaxing, what am I going to do? The relaxation is no relaxation. Only relaxation that you get is only when you go to forcefully sleeping. And if you forcefully sleep, somehow you get to sleep, and next morning again you wake up, again action, 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 action. So if only you can discover that a part of you is relaxing even while acting, you have a choice at any given point of time to shift your attention from the active mind and senses to actionless self. At once, immediate. But since we have not discovered that relaxing, witnessing, calm, peaceful self within us, we seek to retire from action to relax. This is the secret of great masters. Now, I have also observed Gurudev many times, very close quarters. He will give a very intense 1 hour, 1.5 hour lecture, right? And as soon as he would finish the lecture and get back to maybe the room next to the stage, or when he comes into the car and sit down. He's so calm and quiet and peaceful. On the stage, you would have blasted and shouted, and then top of his voice you would have spoken. But the moment it is over, he's so relaxed, as though nothing has happened, as though just now he woke up from sleep. Just relaxed, smiling, quiet, calm, no agitation. And we would wonder how he could do both. Very vigorous, very strong, very powerful speech there. At the same time, within no second, you will be so quiet, peaceful, calm. It is because the one who acted is not me. The one who spoke is the false self called Mr. So and so, Swami Chinmayananda. The one who was there within me witnessing that and now presently relaxing, doing nothing, is the Paramatma, the self, the Brahman, quiet. So, it's such a dramatic change you will see. So when I watched him, of course, when I was at that point, I did not have that knowledge, as we are discussing now, because I was just a youth who was so charmed by the personality of Gurudev. But even then, I have witnessed him. Wow, is he the same person who spoke so strongly, so powerfully on the stage? Now he's so quiet, even his breathing can be heard. So quiet. That's the beauty of it. So Krishna says, discover inaction in action. Discover the quiet self in the midst of activities, in the midst of vigorous action. So Gurudev used to say, even while I am speaking, even while I am shouting at the top of my voice, even I am explaining the verses of Bhagavad-Gita, a part of me is just looking, just hearing, just relaxing. That is the mark of a wise man. It's not escaping from action. It is not running away from action. It is not regretting over action. No. Perform you do. Perform whatever you want to do. Do your best. A part of you should be at rest. So this is understood. Okay. Some people say, okay, Swamiji, I understood this, but what about meditation? Why not we relax at that time? Why not we discover the relaxed self at that time? So Krishna goes to say, okay, let me put you another important idea here. When you watch the sunrise, it would appear that the earth is stable and the sun is rising. The fact is just the contrary. What is the contrary? Is it the sun is rising and the earth is stable? Or earth is moving and sun is stable? Which is truth? The truth of the fact is, earth is moving, sun is stable. It is not sun is rising, earth is stable. So the external phenomena, it appears as though sun is moving, but really speaking, sun is not. Right? In the same way, when you sit for meditation, while sitting quietly, one may think that I am not doing anything. I am doing nothing. While body and senses are actively changing and aging. So the opposite of it. Earlier what he said was inaction in action. The next one is action in inaction. Gurudev used to give a beautiful example for this. There was a villager who was very hardworking, and he had a farm, a dairy farm, and every morning he will get up and then feed the cows, and then slowly milk the cows, and then immediately he will take his vehicle, drive to the next city, biggest city, and to sell the milk, because it has to be sold. Those times they did not have refrigeration, so they have to quickly, he has to take it to the next city and then sell the milk, and then within an hour or so finish his the sales, and after that pick up material that are required for the cows, for the household, etc. And then by late afternoon he will come back home, and then do the household work, get ready for the next day morning again. He will take care of the cows and milk the cows and then go to this market and then sell. This is his daily activity, and every day he will do. And sometimes he will feel so tired of doing this, but then that is his way of life. One day, what happened as he was getting ready to go to the market, he picked up the milk and then put it in his containers and then started his vehicle, and he was driving. As he was driving to the outskirts of his village, he found a person sitting on a stone over a lake and throwing a stone into that water, watching it. Young man watching this. And this fellow thought, these youngsters of today, such a useless ones. Early morning, sitting next to the lake, throwing stones, watching it. What kind of productivity is this? Waste. These people are really don't know the value of time. What kind of a people they are? And he went into the market and then finished his work there and then sold all this milk and then picked up all that he wanted to pick up, and he drove back home. While driving back home also, he could watch slowly as that fellow sitting in the same place after 3-4 hours. He was sitting in the same place, looking at the water, throwing stones and watching it. He said, what? I have finished so much of work from morning till now, and this fellow never moved, sitting in the same place, throwing stone in the water. What is he doing? Such a waste. Because he compared his work with what that fellow is doing. And then he was frustrated. Anyway, and he finished and he came back and then he finished his household duties, etc., and went to sleep. Next morning, as per the routine, he finished the morning chores and picked up the milk and then started driving towards the city. And lo and behold, what he saw? He saw the same fellow sitting in the same place, throwing stones into that water and looking at it. He just couldn't contain his anger. What? Such stupid ones? How can I can't even think of such a waste of. Uh, one day I can understand, probably he's relaxing, but then next day also, cursing himself, he went. And at the end of the, after he finished and then he was coming back, he saw in some place, in that place, again that fellow sitting there, doing the same thing. He stopped his vehicle, walked to him and said, how stupid you can be! What a waste of time! Throwing stones and just sitting there. One day you do it, I can understand. Morning till evening, you are doing the same thing for the past 2 days. Unbearable it is. Shouting like this, he came back to his vehicle and went back home. Third day, as he was passing through that area, that fellow was not there. Somebody heard what I said. At least I have to shout at him, otherwise these people will not improve at all. So that situation got over, and after some time, one of the weekends, when he was in the marketplace in the city, there was an art exhibition locally organized. And he was passing through the marketplace and he wanted to peep into that art studio where they had art exhibition. And when he went there, beautiful pictures and beautiful paintings are there. And one painting exclusively attracted his attention was a lake, a beautiful lake, very well painted, in which a concentric circle was also very perfectly painted. He was looking at it and he was imagining what a great creativity, how intense would have been the imagination of an artist. And he was standing and admiring the painting. Suddenly he heard some sound next to him, and when he turned around, whom did he see? He saw that same young man standing next to him and looking at the same painting which he was looking at. So he turned to him and said, "You see, what an artist this fellow is. See how well he has portrayed that picture from his mind into the painting, into the canvas. See that? Yeah. Not wasting time like you." That young man smiled at him and said, "I am the painter. I am that artist who painted this." What? Yes. When you saw me sitting there for a day or two, throwing stones into the water, it was appearing like I was not doing anything, right? Yeah, of course you were not doing anything. No, very actively I was capturing that concentric circle that were appearing on the water into my mind. I was watching everything which was recorded by me in my mind. And when I came to my studio here, I recalled uh, that scenery and reproduced it in the canvas. What appeared to be an inactive, unproductive sitting there was an active engagement of my mind. Understand? So, from other standpoint, that artist appeared to be an unproductive existence there. But then, what was going on in his mind was not that. In the same way, Gurudev used to say, a person sitting in contemplation under a tree or in lonely place may appear to the others outside who are watching him as though he was doing nothing. But really speaking, a great amount of depth of thinking is going on in his mind. Most of the scientists, if you look at them when they were in the laboratory, you may not think that they are doing anything, but actually they are observing. They are minutely observing some phenomena which externally, when you look at it, you don't know. So, what it means is, real efficiency comes in concentrated effort. In quiet mind, there is an active presence. So, therefore, action in inaction and inaction in action. This one should understand. So, this is the reason why he says he is considered as a wise person who can clearly see this. Secret of detached action is to know that the self is a mere witness and does not participate in any action. All actions are prompted by the qualities of the mind and executed by the body and senses. Thus, the result of those actions also belong to the mind, body, and senses only, and not to the self. Knowing this, one can engage in action without any attachment to actions and the results. So, detached action, on the one hand, means discover the inactive self in the midst of activity, and also understand in the apparent inactive situation there is an active presence of the mind and the senses. And such a person is called a person of wisdom, who, while engaging in this world very actively, is so detached from the results and the actions. Knowing this, one can engage in action without any attachment to action and the results. This is the beautiful verse which Bhagavan Sri Krishna gives to us in this chapter. Continue. The question again raised by Arjuna is, if one remains as a witness self, what will be the purpose behind any of his action? What does he really achieve? Because see, when we, in a normal person, when he engages in action, the entire personality is involved because of the desire for the result, wanting to get maximum out of his action. So, the purpose of a person who is very actively engaged in this world is to get the maximum out of what he does. Whereas, if an individual is merely remaining as a witness self, does he really perform efficiently? And what is his purpose if he is not interested in the results of actions that will make him happy, what is the purpose of his action? So, for which Krishna beautifully answers, firstly, he'll be so content that he will meet life without any demands and is satisfied with whatever comes to him as his experience. So, yadrichālāpa sandushtah dvandvātīto vimatsaraha. So, such an individual, even though he engages in this world, he is so content. He is so content, and then he is not demanding anything from the world outside at all. And of course, it is rare to find such a content individual. I want nothing from the world. How many of them who can come to that kind of a total satisfaction with oneself? And anything that comes, samasiddha cha krutva vina nipadyate. Even though he engages in action, whether its result is good or bad, he is not at all bound by that. So that is, the self-contentment is the reason why that person is not at all demanding anything from the world. Let me give an example. Every day, at the end of the day, you go to sleep. And when you go to sleep, you let go of the world. You reject the world. You let go everything. And you postpone all your whatever you need to do for tomorrow, because it's already so late. I cannot do any, or it's already 10:30, 11 o'clock. Now I cannot sit down and finish a task because that requires a continuous effort for 2 hours, which I don't have right now. So let me do it tomorrow. So you are able to let go of your work, and you need to call somebody or talk. No, not now. That is also postponed. And you are ready to let go of the world, not because you are content, because you are tired. You're tired of what? You're tired physically, and I cannot do it, and I just have to relax today, and I cannot do anything else now. If you can understand the state of mind of yours when you are about to go to sleep, you have postponed, right? Not now, tomorrow. Not now, later. In the same way, a person who has gained the knowledge has understood, I don't need this anymore. Not only just for the night. In this life, I don't need it. In this life, I don't need to pursue this anymore. I'm done with this. Not that he is hatred. It's not because of hatredness or unhappiness or bitterness. He has seen it. He said, that is enough. I don't need to pursue this anymore. So this is born out of correct understanding of the impermanence of things. And just like a person, why I gave the example of a person who is sleeping, just like a person who is ready to sleep does not think about anything else. Sleep, 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 sleep. In the same way, a person who has given up his desires for pursuing anything in this world, he only thinks about self, 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 self. Just like we think about sleep at the end of the day, a man of knowledge thinks about the higher self every moment. And therefore, he is not putting effort to let go. You see, the contentment is natural to him. It's not that, oh, I have to be content because I'm expected to be content. I'm expected to be happy. I'm expected to not to demand anything. No, I don't need it. I'm done with this. So the mind has evolved to a state. It has evolved to a state of understanding. So if at all he does anything, it's an act of sacrifice. He is doing it as a offering to the Lord. Purpose will be to purify his mind by offering his action as a dedication to the higher self, Brahman. So if at all he is seen engaging in this world, no more for his own personal demand, no more for his own personal gains, no more expecting anything to happen for his own benefit. It's all done so that as long as I exist in this world, I must be useful to the people around. Let me do my best in any situation. And And that the offering is also not to the people as such. It is for my higher self, Brahman. Call it God, call it Ishvara, call it Krishna, whatever. I am grateful to that life provided to me by the Lord in this body. And I am dedicated to showing my gratitude to that higher self, and therefore give my best to the world. That's the reason why this famous verse coming from chapter 4 of Bhagavad-Gita, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagno Brahmanahudam Brahmaivatena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina, which means Brahma Arpanam means the ladle is Brahman. In a homa or in a ritual sacrifice where the ladle is used to offer things into fire. So the ladle is Brahmarpanam, Brahma Havihi, meaning what you offer as oblation, that ghee or the rice, etc. That is also Brahman. And then the one performer of or doer of that sacrifice, Brahmana Hutam, where Brahma Agnau, into the fire of Brahman, Brahma Agnau, Brahmana Hudam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam. The purpose is to reach Brahman by the one who is the seeking the result, that is Brahman. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Gurudev used to say, since you conveniently forget this teaching, therefore every day, twice, just before you eat the food, remember this. That's why in Chinmaya Mission, the tradition is, when you are about to eat food, you must remember that all I am doing is because of Brahman. My ladle is Brahman, the oblation is Brahman, performer is Brahman, the fire is Brahman, the purpose is Brahman, the result is Brahman. It is to remember that you are not doing anything for any other purpose, and even you are, who you are is also because of Brahman. Where you need to reach is also to reach the higher self. So that is why this verse is so important for us to understand, and it is the symbol of sacrifice. We'll see more about what this sacrifice is, the concept of sacrifice, in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkhabhat Bhaved. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.